Hello Libra, this is your June forecast for 2017, and I could see that you last month really had a focus on travel, or at least travel plans, which still can take place here this month coming in, but some of you might have already taken a very early vacation. But the Sun and Mars are still traveling through this area, so you still have a great time here to expand your horizons as far as that goes. Now, if you're also waiting for some kind of news, insight for a lawsuit to settle, or if you're looking to take an exam this month, well, both the Sun and Mars will be ensuring that you're going to have all the oomph in the world that you need to push through this. But get it done in the first few days, or that first week of June, because Mars is now going to start changing its focus from preparational stages into career stages. So June will pretty much be upping everything that has to do with your goals, whether it's career or other goals that you're working on too, because the 10th house isn't just career. It's those goals that we carry close to heart that we've been working for now over the last 2 years. It is just about to peak, and you will have all the dynamic energy that you need to rise now. And not only that here, Libra, but you got the new moon also in the area of the 10th house, which has to do with your goals and career, and that won't be coming before later on in the month, on the 24th. That new moon will show up in the sign of Cancer, in your career or goal area. Having Mars there too, well, these two will just ignite the fuse that you need when you're planting new seeds for where you want to go for the next 2-year cycle. It takes 2 years for Mars to circle your chart once, right? So this is the time for you to start new beginnings. On the 24th, under the new moon, that's when we plant our seeds, our intentions. So those intentions should all be about wanting to actually hone in on the long term of where you see yourself, okay, as far as that goes. The full moon, since we're talking about the topics of the moon, we have the full moon on the 9th, and for you, that will be in the 3rd house. 3rd house is all about communication. It is who we communicate with, what we're presenting. It has to do with your closer community, your neighbors and so forth, but also your siblings. So there could be news coming this way from siblings where this stage is going to be under the limelight. It could be you just wanting to take a short trip. We see little road trips, just skipping out of town under 3rd house transits. So since the full moon is here, you might just enjoy taking a day off and then going out, enjoying it in nature, grounding yourself there. Because why? Well, Saturn is giving you a whole lot of extra responsibility these days in this area. You've been having that now for at least 1.5 years, 2 years, and so it's nice to have a little break from your day-to-day routine. So circle the 9th for it. But we have Jupiter going direct, thank God, right? It's been retrograde for several months now. And Jupiter is what we need to feel happy-go-lucky, to have that energy, to rise above and just move forward with more of a feeling of effortlessness, right? Because it just gives us this big wave, this big push forward. And for you, your Jupiter is in that 1st house, which deals with your personality. So if you've been feeling that things have been a little heavier to carry these last few months, it is because Jupiter was sleeping. But now in this area, you're going to see how you're going to come back alive again, Libra, where you're just going to feel happy-go-lucky. And of course, throughout the month, it takes time for such a big planet from having gone backwards to stop and then move forwards again to pick up speed, so you will feel it more next month. But after the 10th, at least, you can start doing new things and feeling that you're not being held back. Saturn is still retrograde, will be until August 26th, which is in that 3rd house, for communication, presentations, travel, siblings, responsibilities in those areas. And so here it's still having you look backwards. It's back in time. Situations karmically maybe that hasn't really been solved yet. So you're working it, but then we don't have that long to go before we get to the end of August, and you'll see a lot of those situations will by then have been taken care of, okay, and things will start lifting as far as your energy goes. Pluto's still retrograde until September 29th, so we got a long ways to go with it, but it's an outer planet, so we don't really notice it on a day-to-day basis, unless that is, you have Pluto conjuncting or in a direct square or opposition in your birth chart, which I can't see from here, but that has to do with family members, parents, and so forth, or you and your own sense of transformation as far as your foundation goes within family and home environment. So let's take a look at how we start off the month. There is a decision already June 1st, and I feel it's more of a release once the decision is taken and made, because then you're free from it. It's all the energy that goes into it when you know something is coming and it's pending. And where do I go with it? Do I go this or that direction? So that's more May. But once you come to June 1st, we will have this opposition between the Sun and Saturn. So you will definitely know where you're heading. There could be news from siblings or faraway relatives that might tie into this picture. But on the 3rd, we have a great energetic signature taking place, and that is Venus, and it's Uranus. This has to do with your relationship or your marriage or partnership, anybody you're working with closely, one-on-one, Libra. Venus brings joy and happiness. It's harmony, it's love, it's romance, right? But it's also money. So here, either from you with news to your partner or from your partner to you, there might be a monetary gain taking place this day. And I like it because not only do we have the surprise event of Uranus, but we also have the Sun and Jupiter. On the very same day, the Sun being you, Jupiter being expansion. And remember now that she's not fully awake before the 10th, and this is on the 3rd, but she's at the end of her cycle, Jupiter, and sometimes she delivers great news on like a big present as she's exiting out the door. The Sun for you this month is in the 3rd house transiting, and Jupiter in the 1st house. So this could be now something that's coming from you as a big jolt of news and happiness. On the 6th, we have Mars moving out of your career house. No, I'm sorry, your 9th house, moving into your career house. So anything that you've been working on the last month or two, making choices, preparing, and so forth, it is now moving into your goals. And you will come to see that this entire rest of the month is all going to be about your career, how you're powering up, how you're taking lead and charge. There might be new things that can be presented to you because we got that new moon too, right? But that's not before the end of the month. But having Mars in this position, which only happens once every 2 years, you're on top of the chart, you're on top of what it is you've been working for the last 2 years, and you can come to feel that something right now is in this flow of synchronicity and coming together for you. On the 6th, we got Venus also changing signs, coming out of Aries, where you've been very much so taking leadership in a partnership. And now it's going a little bit deeper, whereas Aries is all the conquistador. We talked about that last month, right? Now Venus is really wanting to look at how it can secure the things that you initiated, and so it can grow on a deeper, more, should I say, powerful, intense level. And if we're looking at love and relationships, that would be how Venus is going to express it on a more intimate level. But the 8th house is also all about other people's money, meaning this could be bank and insurance payouts and royalties, commissions, and so forth. So when Venus is focusing on it, and in the sign of Taurus, for you it's more like, what am I getting back from my investments? So you will use the rest of this month looking at where your money is going as far as savings, as far as return on investments and so forth, and maybe you and your partner both can be working on these issues. So, in other words, if you're also looking to refinance, this could be a great time where you could save some money by getting a lower interest, for example. So the 8th house will definitely be helping you here this month in that respect. On the 9th, we circle this in on your calendar, Libra, because this is the romantic evening of the month. It's Venus and Mars. They're doing the dance. Venus being in that 8th house of intimacy. Mars being in your 10th house of goals. Well, this is definitely a day for you guys to really merge and, like I said, do the dance. If you're single, well, this could be a great time where you could come to find somebody new, and the areas that you would like to look for that might just be around in your workspace, since the 10th house is lit up. On the 13th and 14th, well, it is both something really beautiful taking place, or being promised, or being served you, an opportunity perhaps that sounds really good, and that is because of Mercury and Jupiter. Mercury's communication, news coming in with this opportunity, and since it's the 13th, Jupiter is direct, right? So it is moving forward and serving you this. However, do read whatever fine print or ask questions, because alongside with it, Mercury is not hearing totally the full picture because it's squaring up on Neptune. And you know how the saying goes, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Could be, not saying it is, but I'm saying it could be one of those situations that question if it is sounding too good. Make sure you know what it is. On the 20th, we spoke about romance there on the 9th, right? Venus and Mars. But here we got Venus and Neptune. Now, both of them rule love and romance. Venus is all about the physical love and passion. Neptune is that spiritual, more cosmic energy. So this is more like the soulmate, the twin flame type energy. Ultra sensitive and romantic. But for those of you, Libra, and many of you are, as an artist, whether it is within music or dance or painting, sculpting, anything of that nature, you could come to see that there's a full download of energy where sometimes it just flows. You just see it and then you create it. You don't have to think, you don't have to work it. You're just this open vessel, this open channel. So this is a day that any artistic person would just love to have every day if they could, right? It's like plugging into the matrix. You got it on the 20th. If you are single and you're meeting somebody on this day, let me tell you though, it's not just anybody. This is somebody that I feel that can be coming out of your far past, like a soulmate. This is like a marriage made in heaven. For those of you getting married on this day, we'll seal the deal with a signature of very high, elevated love for the long run. On the 21st, we have both the Sun and Mercury changing signs, and it is moving out of your 9th house into the 10th house. So up to this point, the Sun, which is you, and Mercury communication, the 9th house for research, looking into preparing yourself for what is to come, is going to now take place and focus on your career. This is great. It empowers you, Libra. You're going to be able to communicate and express yourself for what it is you want. So if you're having any reviews coming in, this would be a great time to have it. Mars is already there now, and it's been plowing, you know, opening up that pathway. And now you, the Sun, and Mercury, your communication, is following those footprints. So the rest of this month, it is great, and it's going to follow you straight into that of July. On the 24th, I'm seeing this is a money magnet day. I feel either if you're signing a deal or there is monies that are owed to you, it could come to you at this point. If you're selling a home, real estate, this would be a great time where you can get a beautiful bid for your home. If you're looking to buy, well, you could definitely get a beautiful house, a lot of square footage, space for the buck you're paying. So yes, great time there. Good news for those of you who are working on it. If you're thinking of upgrading, you may find materials at a beautiful, wonderful price at a great bargain. So circle the 24th for it. On the 25th, there might be a disagreement somewhere that I see like ripples upon the surface of a lake. And so make sure that your discussions are going well. If there's something that seems unclear and coming across, I'd say just work with it right there, right then, to clarify, because it could easily ignite. It's Mars and it's Jupiter, so Mars is fiery, right? And Jupiter can really expand it a little bit out of proportion, maybe, just because of its size. But it's a fast-moving aspect. It's not going to linger for a long time, but we just want to make sure that communication and our actions, more so, are aligned with what it is we want for the long run. So we're coming close to the end of the month, and I feel that June for you has been a month not only where romance is going deeper, but where you and your partner can be looking at your savings and how to expand it or use it, or refinance or consolidate loans so that in the long run you're ending up with a little bit more in your savings. So that is good, and whatever travel you're doing earlier in the month is great, especially up until the 21st, because then you have the 9th house energy with you, which signifies travel and will ensure that you will have a great trip. So this is what we have here for June. Thank you for listening. Thank you for following. Thank you for all your comments. I totally, truly appreciate it, and I do read them all, even if I can't get back and comment to each of you personally, but I totally do appreciate it. So listen, guys, I'll see you in July. Have a good one.